Welcome, beautiful soul. So this is a timeless reading. Whenever you come across this reading, know that this is exactly what you need to hear at this time. Divine Spirit is timeless, and so these messages will find you in exactly the right time and space. So the very first one is card number 2, Radical Curiosity. Very beautiful. I would like to ask Spirit, what portal or gateway this group number 1 is entering at this time? And I wanted to mention that the universe speaks to all of us all the time through animal spirit guides, birds, through messages that we overhear while we're at the coffee shop, a drain that gets clogged. All of it is a message to us. We might not always grasp it or be able to interpret it, but it is true. And today there is, it's not quite a wildfire because it was started by humans, but, ooh, I love this. But it has a message for you, because it wouldn't be happening today when I decide to do this reading if there wasn't. So the world is in quite a state of chaos at this time. And in my life, I must say, I hope it's the same for you, I've learned how to cultivate peace within myself and in my immediate environment. And that is the most important thing, that the most important skill that we need to learn and master at this time. So when there are so many challenges, radical curiosity is something that can really set us free. My phone all of a sudden lit up, and the time right now is 12:32, 1232. So check to see whether there is an angel message for you, because that doesn't normally happen. So I was talking about radical curiosity. There's so much being revealed at this time, so many truths coming to the fore, and most of them quite ugly, cruel, terrible, dark truths. And having a curiosity is very good in understanding what lies behind all of these control systems, the false control systems that are still in play and in power at this time in the world. But don't get lost down a rabbit hole. Don't get curious about dark things and then get caught up in the drama. Make sure that you always employ your inner guidance, your discernment, and discern what really is meaningful for you to know about, because it's not just about the entertainment or the distraction of it at all. It is about informing yourself. And then what I used to do is I would go down a rabbit hole and I would get quite low vibrational, angry, even depressed, feeling a little bit hopeless. How are we going to end the terrible things that are happening on the earth? And so I learned very quickly that it was not okay for us. It is not okay for any of us. No matter how high vibrational your life is, how present you are, you can get knocked off your highest life path by going down these rabbit holes and getting swept up in the negative, low vibrational energy. So be aware of this. And always, I used to go down, and then as soon as I started feeling, because you become so sensitive to the ickiness that you feel, the heaviness, the negative associated, and it's not about being in denial, because those things need to be stopped, looked at, faced, just like our shadow needs to. But if it drags us down and it drags us into darkness, how is that going to help anyone? So sorry, I always write notes on my hand to help me to remember important appointments. And so your gateway that you are ready to enter, I find very interesting because this is more of a positive spin on the radical curiosity. Yes, inform yourself. Yes, be a responsible citizen of this world, because we are here to create the new systems. We are here to create the new earth, to bring in the new earth. And yours, that you received your gateway portal that you're ready for, is Shambhala initiations. Isn't that just perfect? Because I don't know if you're familiar with Shambhala, but Shambhala is an idealistic society. It is many people. So when I had visions, I received visions about the new earth and about an ideal way of life since I was young. And one of the names that I assigned to my downloads that I received and inspirations that I picked up on a channel to bring through and anchor into the earth, because that's one of my main missions, is I actually named it Shambhala, possibly, or other names which I don't want to mention, but because Shambhala is this beautiful, magical, mystical idea, and it's very idealistic, but it was grounded, it was real. So many people think it is mystical, and not real. It is only etheric, it is in our imaginations, but it was, in fact, a realistic society on the earth. And so know that you are being initiated and that you need to use your radical curiosity. Become like a child, become curious about what the future holds and what you are creating on this beautiful new earth. You are in charge. It's not something that is happening. So many people think that the new earth is just automatically going to arrive at some time, but we are the ones. That's why we came. We are here to create that beautiful reality. So we've had to experience, if you are a starseed in particular, we've had to experience a crash course in what it means to be human. And that served us really well, because how could we care so much about these different topics unless we ourselves have been victims of something similar, where people have abused their power over us? Here's a message from Spirit. Beautiful, true love. So lovely. I just love the artwork on these cards. Look at the back. Really beautiful. So innocent and pure, childlike. When is the last time that you played with color, with paints, with sketching, just for fun, coloring? This is an invitation for you to go and have fun. I am an artist, and I plan on sharing a bunch of inspiring creative activities here, because it really is nothing like it to uplift our spirits, to inspire us. So now there's a little bit of an air of seriousness as I took my angel tarot cards. Okay, so the Eight of Wands, and with all of that chaos happening on the earth at this time, events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, and many things are happening at once, and of course that's what's happening on the earth plane. There are so many different crises. Many people also experience this in their personal lives, and that is because the collective, the greater, is an echo of the inner and our personal lives. So you are doing the work on yourself in your own life to heal, to shift, to become aware of your shadow, of the parts of you that you had been denying. Here's one here. I love it. So we have true love and the lovers. Now the Lovers, card number 6, does talk about love, about partnership, but it also talks about balance. The balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine, and that balance within as well. Now, many people do not understand what that means, and I like to explain spiritual sort of random statements and topics in practical terms so you understand what it actually means for you in your life. Bringing balance between your masculine and feminine literally means your masculine is your outward action, what you do in the world, in the manifest world. So whether it's with business or whatever in your life, it is taking action, it's being organized, logical, having a structured plan, disciplining yourself, and it's linear and strict and follows order, and that is very important. But the world at this time and this moment is so out of balance because there's toxic masculinity overly present, and there's no balance between the feminine and the masculine. It's not about men and women. It's about that go, 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 being driven to chase after outward things that just simply never satisfies anyone. I mean, how many people get to midlife or even older when they retire and they're ready to enjoy their lives, and they realize that their lives feel so empty, that there's a nothingness, a pointlessness to their lives, and that they never achieved what they thought, or that they might have achieved what they thought they wanted to, but it's empty. And their inner children definitely never felt satisfied throughout, and they've lost all hope. They've lost their magical, mystical side. So the feminine is the magical, mystical. It's the unseen, the intuition, psychic gifts, spiritual connectedness. It is meditation and flowy movement. It is surrendering to the flow, and the tenderness as well, gentleness. So it's about art, music, inspiration from nature, and trusting that all is divinely guided. You see how the cards select themselves. So now we have, very interesting, the Ten of Swords. Now the Ten of Swords indicate sort of a state of suffering that we've created for ourselves. And but this is talking about the end of a difficult situation. So because you've reached level 10, you are at the level where you're ready to transcend from overthinking, trying to control things with your ego mind, overly masculine focused, and you are willing to stop and take a bit of a break, go within, reflect. So look at these beautiful white horses. White horses represent masculine energy, whereas black horses represent feminine energy. There's one more from this deck, one more message. There it is. The Nine of Swords, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. So being in your head a lot, overthinking, expecting the worst, and then creating that in your life. With radical curiosity, investigate what are the things that keep you up at night. What is it that you try and control with your ego mind? Is it truly necessary? Because it does feel, our ego, and I do want to take the Emperor card at the bottom of the deck. The Emperor is the master of all of the kings. It is the ultimate leader that has conquered all of the other kings. What I mean is each king has conquered one of the elements. So there's the King of Air, King of Swords, and that king has conquered his mind, his thoughts, but he might be out of balance, too much in his mind, or too much trying to control things with his mind, because the rest isn't necessarily in balance. Then the King of Pentacles, which is mastered taking action in this world, what they value, Taurus qualities basically. So, but they might not have things in balance either. Then you've got the King of Cups, or the King of Water, which is all about emotional mastery. So the King of Cups might have mastered his heart and his emotions and be able to express them honestly, be really in tune, but might be too, or easily out of balance and easily manipulated or easily controlled by their own or others' emotions. And then we have the King of Fire, or the King of Wands. So that is all about being driven, being passionate, and going for it. So it's also masculine energy. And again, there can be such an imbalance, but the Emperor has mastered all four elements and has brought it into perfect balance. And it talks about organization and logic, structure and discipline, and leadership. Taking leadership in your own life, taking leadership of what thoughts you choose to think, becoming more mindful, doing mindful meditation. As I do offer an online course, Create Your Own Inner Sanctuary, where I teach you how to successfully meditate from day one. And I guide you in many other. I will share a link at the bottom with more information on what is included in that course, because people find such amazing balance when they take that course, because it was designed for that. So take ownership, take charge, take leadership, but with instead of trying to control and force and having that toxic masculinity take over, take a breath, take some time, tune in, and receive guidance from source, from your higher self, from your intuition, and have that radical curiosity. Put that into practice in your life, in every aspect of it. The parts that you keep on overthinking, be willing to, or curious about, what it would mean that if you did lean back and surrender it a little bit. If you said, you know what, I do not know what the answer is, I do not know what the solution is, I surrender to the divine. Let's see what unfolds, and then truly do let it go and distract yourself with something like gardening or going for a walk in nature, something positively focused, and do not demand that spirit answer you within a few seconds or by a certain time or before you go to bed, because solutions will find you, but your responsibility is to be in the state, the receptive state, by meditating, by breathing, by relaxing. All right, so yeah, we're done with this one, and I'm keeping the reading shorter for now, this one, because some of them are very long. I love them. But you can hear the dogs barking in the background, a little bit of chaos again. We do not have control about, or we do not have control over what happens in the world out there. And this is a slogan I use in my course, Create Your Own Inner Sanctuary, because we only have control over creating inner peace within and in our own environment. We do not have control with other people or outside circumstances, and definitely not in the world out there. And so, yeah. Oh, I love this. So I've used my Golden Future deck to let you know what lies ahead for you and what you need to focus on in the near future, what will really help you to tap into that radical curiosity. And I received card number 25, which reduces to 7, animals. Look at that. So animal spirit guide messages are one of the, and by animals I do mean birds, insects, animals, and they are all represented on this card. You will see there, I'm looking at the card and I'm showing you the card. Look at the bird on his shoulder. There are two beautiful monarch butterflies and another bird to the side. A bird at the top. There's a tiger, an owl, a puppy at the bottom. Just lovely. And start taking notice, being curious about these messages from the universe. What is it trying to tell you? There are these magnificently timed gifts given to us on a daily basis. Even if you never go outside, even if there is no way that an animal can come to you, or you might need a message from an elephant and you don't live in Africa or India, you might not come across one in real life. You can find it on your timeline on Facebook. You can it could be you could go searching for a video on YouTube on a certain topic, and when you find the video, the animal is on the video for some reason. And what I always say to people is, sometimes you do know when you just see one animal that there's a message for you, and other times you see that same animal twice or three times in a day, or you might see it in 2 or 3 consecutive days. And that is because you're not listening and you're not checking what your guidance is, so you keep seeing the same animal. Now, it's a little bit sad to know that if you do not heed the messages from these messengers, and the message is very urgent for you from Spirit for your own best, then you might come across one that has died. And so the message is that you did not listen to the messenger, and so the messenger has failed. So do not allow that to happen. Make sure, and I'm not saying that any animal that you see is going to die necessarily if you do not follow. I just mean that has happened often for me, because I'm super in tune. I see a tiny little stink bug and I know, oh, I need to clear my space. There's some negative energy around. The stink bug is a beautiful little creature, but it protects itself by giving off an unpleasant odor. So do you need to maybe strengthen your boundaries or cleanse your own space? Make sure to remove any toxic factors from your life. So even the little stink bug has a beautiful message that is there to help and guide you. Now, so this is a good example. I went to fetch my deck. Now I shuffle all of my decks when I'm done with card readings or after sessions, so that it's fresh the next time I get to them. And as I pick this up, mine is Meerkat. Let me show it to you over here. Meerkat. And my screensaver at the moment is a meerkat. Two meerkats, two baby meerkats. So that, to me, I didn't look up meerkat. And that's the way Spirit makes sure that I take note. And I do go and look it up. Thank you, Spirit, thank you. So start becoming aware, like a child. I mean, children get excited. Wow, I love this one. This is an unusual one, a fruit bat or a flying fox. A fruit bat or a flying fox. The one dog barking again. So I will share with you a little bit more about the flying fox, the fruit bat. I hope that this message found you at the perfect time, as it normally does. If you did resonate with it, please share with me in the comment which one you selected, and if you feel like sharing details on how it resonated with you, I absolutely love reading your comments. So that's it for group number 1. Sending each and every one of you heaps of love and light. Janine Swat.